I'm Margaret in Windsor, and I'm sitting here again. I'm 77, almost 78 years old, and I'm trying to get my name back, and I'm trying to get the press that's controlled by the very people that kidnapped me, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, members of my own family. George VI is dead, but his illegal reign marches on with Elizabeth and company. The Jews kidnapped me, along with my uncle and some of the Windsors, my own family, in 1941, and took down my father, Edward VIII, who was married to, never married Wallace Simpson. She married a double. All of history has been changed. That woman was a spy, and the lies that were made up and were the antics and crimes that this double committed were attributed to my father, which is not true. That man was an imposter. My father was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, sister to Georgia O'Keeffe, the artist, American. And I'm sad to say that, really, that my mom was an American. And anyway, and the press. I'm listening to the press. These Harper Valley hypocrites up there, the women and men too. You talk about a press that's controlled. I've said it for a long time now. It's so controlled. If once it's ever told, this mess is, watch it. Just watch it. I hope and pray it is. This is my father. Photo of him. It was a forced abdication. He became king in, I guess, January of 1936. And he was forced to abdicate in December of 36. I did say 36. I wonder how my grandfather now really died. George V. This is the double that married Wallace Simpson, and that's Wallace, your American spy. And I showed you Georgia. And my dad. And I'm going to show you my uncle who betrayed him. And by the way, the Jews' comments were, and I don't have that right at the moment before me, but they're the ones kidnapped me, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, and the ugly, horrific things they did to my sons, who are heirs after me, Mark and Scott. And to me, if put before this country and world, would take you down in a heartbeat. That's the reason you don't tell it. It's such a shameful mess, and then you self-righteous hypocrites stand before the world and criticize Donald Trump. You sick bunch of SOBs. Now, you want to hear locker room talk? I can give you some descriptive words when I'm screaming from the hell and crimes you've committed against me. And I've learned the only outlet I had was to call you names, and you can't find anything vile enough to even come close to what you Americans are, and some of my own family. By the way, I want to get back to this. The Jews were the ones that really took me down, my father down, took over Great Britain, the United States, and part of my own family. Now, you just dismiss my dad really being married to my mom. You had him married to another woman. That's a lie. You kidnapped me in 41, born in 39. This is my Uncle George in 39 with Roosevelt, another Jew. And I'm not allowed to say my name. I'm not allowed to tell what the Jews did. Everybody's gun-ho on the Germans, beating the hell out of the Germans. Let me tell you something. The Germans were there for me and my German family. And where were you all? My mother was from here, from Madison, Wisconsin. All right, I tell you where you were. You were beating me up and living off of the proceeds of my ransom and all of it. I'm going to jump to this, but I'm going to go back real quick because I've really hurting at this point from some things that have been done or being done to me. And besides, I'm 78 years old, almost. But I want to get back to the Jews. Catherine, her mother is of Jewish ancestry. And I believe if anybody cares to Google it, they back there, the Goldsteins, I believe, I wrote that down and I don't have it. But they were talking about the Queen of England would be a Jew. Well, they're illegal. But as it stands, unless I get to go home, and I am the legal heir. My mom and dad were married, and it went through legal channels, and it is legal. So should I get to go home, it's mine. I want it back, and I want the truth told about you rotten Americans and what you have done. There's no words to describe you, so don't you call Donald Trump names. He's a saint. And by the way, Larry Flint was shot when I was doing a book MD, A License to Kill, back in 75 to 80, when you all put antifreeze. This country allowed it to be put, they allowed me to be marched up and down the side of the road begging, and I'm not going to say all the rest that's involved. It's so ugly, but I want to throw it in your face if I ever get the chance. My ex-husband or husband went to NOW, National Organization Women. Nobody, Dr. Wolf with the, who did Ralph Nader Foundation, nobody would touch it. Not one person, except Playboy Magazine. Kretschner was on their staff. He was going to turn it over to his attorneys, and then their plane went down, and hey, I've already told you all about this. CNN, I put it on emails, everything, and I didn't have the money to do it, but I put it up there trying to get my name back. By the way, Larry Flint was shot. I think I said that, and I'm going to try to get this off and put it up. I've given you all this news, and you have ignored it over the years. And I've told for a long time that the media is controlled, and that, where's everybody? Let me show you this, and then I'm going to tell you, because everybody can't wait to get their piece of the pie. By the way, this is what my husband said to me. I don't know who he worked for. I've been told he worked for the CIA, but I think there's a possibility, I don't know if it's true, but there's another ingredient in it. I certainly hope so, because it's the only chance I have. It really is. Anyway, there's not much need in going on. I've put all this up here. I've contacted the media with the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, the Kennedys, was ambassador. It helped kidnap me, and Joe, his older son, and JFK. Why do you think the Warren Commission covered it up? Because it'd lead back to me and the illegal treaties that were signed by Uncle George when you inserted him as your King of England. How about that? He's illegal, and that allowed you to put your bases all over the UK, all over British soil, Area 51, and Australia. Well, you know what I would do if I were able to. You'd get your ass out. You want some language that you call it gutter language? It's the only language to describe the vile acts you six SOBs have done. And I hope you have to look at it and look at what you did to my children, my mom and dad, and my country. Look at it. Look at these self-righteous hypocrites sitting up there. Harper Valley PTA, heck. This is when I was kidnapped and brought over here, and God knows I've shown it enough. This is a twin Carl. I was kidnapped in 41, and my uncle was planning my kidnapping in 39 with the great Jew Roosevelt. Okay? Now then, this is Carl. He's dead. His mother killed him, Lina Dempsey. He was born out of wedlock. Okay, Moulton, Alabama. It was a pigsty. When I got the birth certificates from the state of Alabama, because, hey, guess what? In this land of the free and home of the brave, I'm not allowed to even breathe. I have no rights. I can't say my name. Although Larry Flick came to Roanoke after I'd been out there in '83 in the parody against Jerry Falwell, or Jerry Falwell against Larry Flick, because Hustler had a parody on him. By the way, he showed it to me. I didn't know why when I was out there in '83. Now I know, because he came up to Roanoke. He knew where I was going to be. And by the way, some of the FBI run Hustler magazine, okay? So you can put that in your pot and boil it. But anyway, I'm bouncing around. There was a freedom of speech that Falwell sued Larry Flint, and Falwell won. Well, it was overturned by the Supreme Court, and Larry Flint won. But you know what? I still don't have the right. I have no rights whatsoever. My friend gave me this to put up on social media because I can't get an attorney. And you talk about your press, you self-righteous people talking about, my God, I wish they'd throw out what you've done to me. NOW wouldn't help. No one, except you talk about Flint, you talk about Playboy, you talk about, and you're the gutter people. Look at this. She's part of the New World Order, the ones that kidnapped me. She sent her and Bill. You get one, you get them both. You're not stupid. To Northern Ireland to help take away the last thing. That's what you've done, is taken over everything that was British, you bunch of thieves. Hey, I want to mention something. What about the Indians? All of you are gun-ho on the blacks, the illegal immigrants. You can't say anything about, because, hey, that would take votes away from you to tell the truth. Okay? They're illegal. Well, I'm going to go back to this. And you can say what you want to. And by the way, it would be nice if Trump got a hold of all this and spilled his guts before the world. He was talking about the birth certificates in Obama. Well, here I am, the Queen of England, legal, and showing you over and over and over the laws broken. And here's where the state of Alabama, when I asked for the birth certificates, because I have to use it, actually marked through the date of birth of the twins, because it didn't jive with the date of birth I've used all my life when you brought me here from Buckingham Palace, by the way. So that's illegal. Everything's been illegal. Nobody's touched it. Let's see. You got Hillary Clinton last night, and I'm going to tune this out so I can get it up. It's got 15 minutes on it. She said something about war crimes, war criminals over in, she's talking about Assad, etc. Well, war criminals are her, and she's part of the New World Order that kidnapped me, the Illuminati. Rockefeller's Rothschilds. Elizabeth is a member, of course. And, I mean, you can get the list, all of your people up there that, as far as I know, Donald Trump's not a part of it. And that's the reason you'll never let him in. So there's some other things I meant to say here. But I'll let this do it, because I just wanted to say these boots were made for walking. I don't even have any shoes or clothes, or I've kept penniless. And everything that came in here with my hostage money when you kidnapped me made you live good, America. Your space program, all of it. And, I wish it would be Judgment Day. I really do. And let's see whose side God's on. If he's on the side of criminals, the United States, and part of my family, or he's on the side of God save the Queen, me.